What if I told you there is an even lower hanging fruit to scale your winning ads without constantly creating new creatives? You don't need another UGC ad, you don't need another creative task, and you definitely don't need to keep throwing new ads into your account hoping something sticks. Instead, you need landing pages built around your winning ad angles. We worked with more than 150 DTC brands, including 7, 8, 9-figure companies, and there is one thing many of these brands do behind the scenes that most e-commerce founders aren't even thinking about. It's one of the simplest ways to increase conversions, lower your CPA, and get more out of the ads that are already working. Instead of speaking in theory, let's look at a real example. This is a winning ad from First Day. If you are not familiar with them, they are one of the biggest supplement brands in the kids' nutrition space. Their main positioning is helping parents fill common nutrient gaps with a daily multivitamin. Now look at how this ad starts. The hook isn't talking about the product, it's talking about the problem. 3 red flags of vitamin deficiency. Immediately, it speaks to common concerns parents already have. Things like sugar cravings, picky eating, only wanting to eat foods like chicken nuggets. Then the ad introduces the underlying cause, hidden hunger. Instead of jumping straight into selling vitamins, they are educating the customer first. That's what makes this such a strong top-of-funnel ad. But here is the interesting part. Most brands would take this ad and send people to a generic product. First Day doesn't. Instead, they send visitors to a landing page built specifically around this exact message. The page continues the same conversation the ad started. It talks about sugar cravings, it explains nutrient deficiencies, it educates parents on hidden hunger. And only then does it position the product as a solution. That's what message match looks like. The customer doesn't feel like they have landed somewhere completely different. They simply continue the journey. And before you go and copy this exact landing page, that's actually not what I recommend. Every brand has a different offer, different customers, different products, different pricing, and different retention strategies. What works for First Day won't necessarily work for your brand. So instead of copying other brands, I want to show you how to think about building landing page around your own winning ads. Because once you understand the principles behind it, you'll be able to create pages that actually fit your business and help your winning ads scale even farther. So before you start copying landing pages from brands like First Day, IM8 or Groons, here is something important to understand. Every brand has a different strategy, offers, product, customers, and ultimately different ways of scaling. Some brands are willing to break even or even lose money on the first purchase because they know they'll make it back through subscriptions and mention. Others need to be profitable on that very first order. So even if two brands sell supplements, the right landing page strategy might look completely different. That's why we do not copy landing pages. We build them around the fundamentals. And it all starts with understanding what a landing page is actually supposed to do. One of the simplest ways to think about a landing page is to think about a salesperson. Imagine you are on a sales call or someone's explaining a product to you in person. No matter how interested you are still going to have questions. A great salesperson handles those objections before asking for the sale. A great landing page does exactly the same thing. Your ad sells the click, your landing page earns a conversion, and its job is to answer every important question standing between the customer and the purchase. This is especially important today. Trust is lower than it's ever been. Customers have seen countless dropshipping stores, low-quality products, and brands making unrealistic. So when someone lands on your website, they are asking themselves one question: can I actually trust this brand? That's why every landing page needs to build credibility before it asks for the sale. Through your messaging, through your design, through your social proof, through the way you communicate your product. So where do we actually start? Before we design anything, before we write a single headline, we do research. And one of the most valuable places to look is actually the comments on your winning ads. The comments are a gold mine. They tell you exactly what people are still unsure about, what objection they have, what they don't believe, and what information they are still missing before they buy. We also spend time reading Reddit discussions, YouTube comments, and other places where your customers talk openly, because our goal isn't just to understand why people clicked, it's to understand why they didn't buy. Let's say you are selling a focus supplement that replaces coffee. The ad gets people interested, but once they land on the page, they might still wonder, is it actually safe? What its side effects? Will it make me dependent on it? Does it actually work? Those are the questions your landing page should answer. Not because you guessed them, but because your customers are already asking them. Once we have identified the objection, the next step is making sure the entire landing page matches the winning ad. This is where a lot of brands go wrong. Let's say your main landing page talks about magnesium in general. Better sleep, fever cramps, heart health, but then one of your ads starts performing really well and it is specifically about waking up at 3 a.m. In that case, your landing page shouldn't be about magnesium as a whole. It should continue the exact conversation that made someone click. Why people wake up at 3 a.m., what's happening in the body, why magnesium may help, and every objection someone with the specific problem might still have. That's how you create a smooth customer journey. The customer shouldn't feel like they have started a completely different conversation after clicking your ad. Once you have nailed the messaging and identified the objection, there is one more thing you need to consider: the sophistication level of your market. If you are selling in a highly competitive category, think collagen, magnesium, greens, or probiotics, your customers have seen dozens of similar products. They are comparing you to Amazon alternatives, cheaper competitors, and brands making the exact same promise. So before you ask for the sale, you need to answer one question: why this product? Why is your formula different? Why should they trust your ingredients? Why should they choose you over everyone else? That could be your formulation, your sourcing, your manufacturing progress, or science. Whatever your USP is, make sure it's communicated before you are asking someone to buy. The next thing we focused on is social. And this is another area where we see brands leaving a lot of conversions on the table. Most brands have reviews, but they are all the way at the bottom of the page. Or they have a generic testimonial carousel that could work for almost any product. Instead, we like to bring social proof much earlier in the customer journey. Sometimes that's a featured review in the hero section, sometimes it's a UGC video, sometimes it is a quote that directly reinforces the angle of the ad. For example, if your winning ad is about fixing sleep with magnesium, do not lead with reviews about energy. Lead with reviews from people talking about how they finally slept through the night. Your reviews, UGC, testimonials should all reinforce the exact promise that got someone to click in the first place. Now, if you are wondering what a landing page like this actually looks like, here is the general framework we like to use. But please, keep in mind, this isn't a template. Every brand is different, but it's a solid starting point. We usually start with a hero section that immediately reflects the ad. The headline should call out the exact problem or desired outcome. Your creative should support that message, and your offer should be visible right away. From there, we usually move into a section explaining your unique selling proposition, why your product is different, why someone should trust it. Then we introduce the key benefits, followed by the buy block. After that, we will often include the transformation customers can expect, the comparison table, how to use the product, customer reviews, FAQs, and more social proof. Finally, a guarantee with another clear call to action. Again, don't think of this as a fixed template. Think of it as a framework that you adapt based on your product, your audience, and your winning ad. One final point that often gets overlooked is the offer itself. If your ad talks about free shipping, a bundle, a free gift, or any special promotion, the offer should be crystal clear on your landing page. Don't make people search for you, don't make them guess which option to choose. The buying journey should feel as simple as possible. Reduce unnecessary choices, highlight the bundle you actually want people to buy, and make sure your highest value offer is visible throughout the page, not just at checkout. So if there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this: your winning ads can probably scale much farther than you think. Not because you need better creatives, but because you need a landing page that continues the same conversation. One that matches the message, handles objections, builds trust, and makes the next step feel obvious. Remember, your ad earns a click, your landing page earns a conversion. When those two work together, scaling becomes a whole lot easier. If you are a CPG brand looking to build landing pages like this, that's exactly what our team does. We have worked with over 150 D2C brands, handling everything from strategy and direct response copywriting to design and development, all under one roof. So if you would like help building landing pages that are tailored to your winning ad, we would love to chat. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave comments and I'll see you in the next one.